Good evening, friends. 10 minutes to go before we start out with the wildcard games for the Under-21s World Cup. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you've had a beautiful Friday so far. I made a mistake and I thought that the draw would be today as well, just after the wildcard games, but apparently that's on Sunday evening. So we'll just do it on Sunday evening instead. If there's anyone out there who's been with us while we were looking at doing some step trading, perhaps even some skill trading, there's good news. Because we had quite a few pops, and we have, as a result of that, we have quite a few listings. So we'll be looking to do some scouting during the coming week. Hello, Dennis Nikolowski. Are you a new chatter? I don't seem to recall seeing your name before in the chat. If you are new in the chat, welcome, welcome. Always nice to see new people here. GGLI, hey man, just want to thank you for the hat-trick content you make. Well, thank you for watching it. It's my pleasure. It's been a interesting journey starting out producing some of the content. I've been pleasantly surprised by the positiveness in the community. I barely get any negative feedback, so that's very nice. So thank you for stopping by and letting me know. I appreciate it a lot. Right, I don't know if the match viewer will support the aggregate scores while the matches are running, so I've made a screenshot of it to keep in the background to try to remember the actual scores in the games, but it might be a little hectic. But if we look at the matchups here, we do have some interesting matchups because we have Vietnam against China. Hey Mambo, hey Folky, these time zones are a struggle to watch your stuff. Yeah, Oceania HT Live, hashtag. Yeah. I get it. Did you see that they want to change the match days around for South America primarily because they want to start utilizing Mondays and Thursdays? Probably a good move. It will make it harder if you have some youth player coming up to squeeze in a potential extra training match on a Thursday in Argentina. That's 3 in the morning HG time. So, but I think it's an all right solution to keep more games in the weekends. Anyway, we're looking at interesting matchups here. You do great work. Interesting that Hat-Trick is very active in the last seasons. I think it's a coincidence, really. But I didn't really start playing until 4 or 5 seasons ago. Again, I'd have to say. But it's nice to see that they have indeed have a community manager, and they're actually being more progressive in the whole content creation segment. Interesting decision. They're showing that they're willing to make more hard moves, which is a good thing. I think they're being quite progressive, which I like. Speaking of those interesting matchups here, we have North Macedonia against Hungary as well. And they drew 3 goals all in the first match. Should be very interesting. Where else do we have a good matchup? Interesting matchup. It's always interesting to see a solid hat-trick nation like Argentina in the mix here against Tanzania. And we'll see how they fare at home. They drew in the first match. I do seem to remember Angola doing quite well on some occasions. They're up against Thailand. I'm the assistant coach of Macedonia under 21s. We're gonna play very risky. Oh, that's interesting because you, if I may say so, you weren't playing it. You weren't playing very risky in the group game, in the group matchups. We weren't in a group with you guys, and we were fairly sad about your win in the first round, if I recall correctly. You're pressing in the first match. Are these games the second leg? They are. The first leg was played Monday. Most of them are close. I'd say coming into a matchup with a two goal win, and now playing at home, you should be looking pretty good. But most of them are close here, and I just took note of like some of the local matchups here, like Vietnam against China, and the European clash here. Then there's, I'll admit, there's a few of them that's pretty hard to assess from my, because I don't know much about the countries. I'm just going by my feel of the size of the, like, how do I remember the size of the community? China. Could we China. Could you provide me with that link to the country? Okay, we'll do like this. World, Denmark, China. Yeah, it's not that. 1,500 active teams. Like, just in everything else. Like, imagine if China grew a massive community. They could be such a powerhouse in a game like Hat-Trick. Could be such a powerhouse. 2 minutes away. Let's head over to the live viewer. Check see. I think we got all the matches. We're supposed to have 11 matches. I was a little surprised to see they didn't add all the matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Also, another thing. I have a terrible habit of, when we are having a lot of matches in the viewer, of accidentally deleting matches from the overview. So look out for that. We'll see how we can go about it. Bad form killed us. I missed that. So was that in the initial stages that you opted to play well, boring in some way, a little boring and a little tentatively? Was that due to bad form? I mean, I totally get why you would like, if it's the shot you have, not going all out and playing creatively and playing in order to entertain. I mean, you gotta do what it takes to win most of the time. Anyway, the games are off, and let's just check some of the ratings here. So we have Georgia, I think it is, against Algeria. And it looks... We're not sleeping now, so let's just skip that track. We're trying to fall asleep here. It looks like advantage Georgia, and not a big surprise really, but they're leading. They're up by 2 from the first leg, and there's no counter from... It wouldn't work anyway. Looks like a home field advantage in the first match here. Uganda against Kuwait. A draw in the first match, and it doesn't look like we have a counter attack initiated here from the guests. So they have to be in a counter. I would be very surprised if they... Wow. Hi, Guillermo. Let's see. China, Vietnam. Vietnam grabbing the midfield advantage, but lower chances to convert chances. This central attack might be very good for China tonight, and they could very well make it past. I think this is going to be key. Let's see, Angola against Thailand. The midfield advantage here. It's going to be key. Pretty good central sector as well. Oh, it actually shows the aggregate. Very nice. Very nice. Then I can close off at least that screenshot I had. Argentina, Tanzania. China has been our biggest rivals the last 2 campaigns. You qualified directly, right, Ambu? Yeah, you did. I seem to recall you saying that you would like to be a little more dominant in your qualification group consistently. What about Argentina and Tanzania? This is an open contest. Wow. This central sector may be key for Argentina. But if Tanzania hits their left, yeah, it's an open contest. There's not much between them here. Interesting to see a big nation like Argentina potentially not qualifying for the actual World Cup. Another very open contest. Pakistan, if they hit the left, it's a nice central sector for Uruguay, and topped off even with a world-class tactical level for attacks in the middle. Tau and Princip, I think, against Albania. And creative tactics, then we will have to take a look at the specialties. Interesting approach from Albania, not having more specialists on the field. They have 3 unpredictable. We are directly qualified. We have about 1,200 active teams across Oceania, so a little less than China. Could be why do they play creatively? They're not ahead in any way. That may not be the best decision they've ever. We have about 53% of the teams in Australia and 32 in New Zealand. Oh, I had the impression that more of the teams were from Australia, from our talk. Then we have Uzbekistan against Benin. Yeah. Left flank for... That's the good sector for Uzbekistan. They're already leading. We have a scuffle in the penalty box here. It's a missed chance. Moving on to Bangladesh against Malta. The European outfit. Mythical counter-attack from Malta. Numbers took me a bit by surprise too. I would have imagined, but let's have a look-see on the ratings. So they're giving up all the midfield advantage, but they do come out with pretty good side sectors for the attack Malta here. They'll have to be a little lucky to consistently get counterattacks down the flanks. All right, we have North Macedonia going up 1-0. They find a way through in the right-hand side, and the first goal scorer of the evening is Gorjan Shantevsky. Good start, but do we have... we have Hungary in an all-out attack here. 2 outfits in all-out attack. Wow. Both teams coming out swinging here. Jesus Christ. You could say that it was a very... Okay, and we have the first... they're adjusting the tactics already. Very early in the game. You're parking the bus already. Angel Alachov. Or Alakov. Towards the middle. How much did that actually move the position? A few percentages. Interesting. More midfield, yeah. This'll be a crazy game. Let's see if we can get a readout here. Good evening, Hampson. Welcome. Welcome. Nice to see you in the chat. Right, we'll see if we get an instant reply from Hungary. They miss. Wow. That's not unlucky. You're happy about that, Dennis, I guess. Very happy about not conceding in an 86% sector. It's a good start for North Macedonia. Certainly. Let's just scroll through the rest of the games here and have a look. Algeria. It's a penalty for Algeria. Ben Difala, but he sends it wide off the post. We are cheering for Macedonia. We've had a counter-attack for Uganda down the left. Vietnam has missed attack in the central sector. We're 10 minutes in and we've only seen one goal so far in tonight's matches. But I'll guarantee you that this game doesn't end 1-0. And there's the first goal in the match between Argentina and Tanzania, and it's Tanzania going up after, wow, after an attack in the right side. Shaban Kadiga. Wow, we'll play another dong for that because that's a 2% conversion rate. And that may actually be very crucial. I mean, we can't statistically say that they won't hit that side again, but having had a goal in a 2% sector, it's a boost. For sure. For sure. Alright, so Thailand is actually pressing in this one. Formidable. And Kazakhstan against the Philippines. We have I think we have a Danish coach here, so I am cheering for them to turn this around. And it could happen, but I'd say it's unlikely that the Philippines turn this around. I'll go with Hungary. My sister-in-law is Hungarian, sorry. I think it's good with some friendly competition here. Friendly competition is all Patrick is about, so... And for the neutral fan, this will be the most interesting game of the night. Jovan Tutunsiewski, that must be Macedonia on the attack here, but they miss in the left side, and that's not the sector they want to have the chances in. It's quite simple. Let's see here. Corner kick for Tanzania. He gets his hands on it. Ranchan. Oh my. Argentina in big trouble here. Omega and Delva. With the header. Tanzania up by 2 against Argentina. How about that? The reigning world champions in the traditional national teams. How about that? World Cup without Argentina. 7,000 active players in Argentina. Let's compare that to Tanzania. 100 active teams. Oh, wow. Uruguay going up by 1 against Pakistan. That's a corner kick, Mario Greggio, and then there we have the equalizer, a counter in the right side, a 90% chance of conversion for Hungary, and it's all open. I'll have to admit, I don't know the answer here. There's no such thing as an away goals tiebreaker in hat-trick, right? I would be very surprised, but I haven't actually checked up on it. World Cup without Argentina. Well, if they continue this trend, they will lose by a lot. But hat-trick is mysterious games. You've seen a lot of mysterious games and hat-trick over the time, and being down by 2 doesn't mean the end of the world necessarily. Uruguay getting through at the moment and Argentina struggling. Yeah. They'd be very happy about such an outcome on this fine Friday evening. Free kick to North Macedonia. Gorjan Shentowski through on goal. And there's the third goal of the evening. Gorjan Shentowski. And that's after a set piece. Okay, what's up with this music? They're busy trying to make sure that the goal netting is intact, because they'll be wearing it down quite heavily with all the goals being scored. I feel a little bad for the keepers tonight. I think that game will end up 4-4, just a hunch. Yeah, that's like, it would be fun to see like the most common results. I've seen that in one season. I think we had 5 games ending up 5-4 in my league with my primary team. Let's see, Algeria. Oh wow, that's a new one. Saleh Aliou. Oh, it's an unpredictable own goal, chance, or risk. Pakistan with a corner here this time. A lot of action tonight. Talalwala brings it down and it feeds it to Abrameo, who has the goal wide open. He hits the frame. Pakistan still trailing by 1. We are 18 minutes into the game. So maybe it's a little unfair to ask while we have the matches running here, but I hope you've had a good start to the weekend. A bit of a strange one in Denmark, because traditionally, it's been a national holiday today. But it has been, for the first time this year, it's been cancelled to be a regular Friday. So there's been a few grumpy faces around. Let's see here, Uzbekistan on the ball. Angola going up by 1. Tito Castro Pereira. 90 minutes played, was an attack in the central sector. So they've abolished this holiday. It's a miss from Uzbekistan in the left sector. That's the one they want to come through in, though. Pretty sad. Claiming we needed like 1 extra day in the labor force, and yeah, I think it's a hoax, but see, Acosta with a shot directly at the keeper. A few bobbles on the turf, but he managed to scoop it up carefully in the end. Do you guys in Denmark have many national holidays? Benin going up by 1 here. And it's from a counter in the left-hand side. Chielaloka Bijan. Can you keep an eye on the China game? Yeah, we'll try to keep an eye on every one of the games. But and the Bangladesh. Yeah, certainly. Do we have a lot of national holidays in Denmark? Not really. They claimed they needed everyone in the workforce to basically, if you translate it, it would be the big prayer day. And as far as I've understood, it used to be that we had a lot of holidays scattered all across the spring season, and then it was put together in one, the big prayer day. ANZAC, what does that? What is what's the abbreviation? I'm not completely familiar, I'll have to admit that. Real patriots work on holidays as well. San Tome and Principe goes up by 1. Severino Grillo after a set piece in the 22nd minute in Kazakhstan. Quick went Stanislav Sakno, and he runs past the Filipinian defense in the 22nd minute as well. Now they're up by 3. Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. Oh, I see. That makes sense. We don't really have military holidays because we haven't had any victories to celebrate. We didn't participate in the First World War. We didn't participate in the Second World War. We were just occupied at the Second World War. Real patriots work on holidays as well. Yeah, but the thing is, these are traditionally religious holidays, so the common man shouldn't work. Way too dramatic for now. Anyway, they claimed, the government claimed we needed another day of labor in order to keep the wheels spinning. And half a year later, after they decide we're going to abolish this holiday, they find a lot of money in the coffers anyway. Surprisingly. We have a huge rivalry with New Zealand, but we go to wars together and play hat-trick together, I guess. So there's the YouTube chat has the reaction button on top of the chat. It's really annoying, so sometimes I cannot read it probably. There's Ben. Hey Ben, good to see you in the chat. Hope you're having a nice Friday evening. Oh my. Still very surprised to see Argentina on the way out as things stand here. Quite surprising to see them even in the wildcard game. Let me just check Oh, it's mixed here. Still having a relaxed Friday. Where did they end up? Argentina? Wow, and 1 point. Having a relaxed Friday. Got my final pop on my winger. Will now switch to playmaking. And what level did the winger reach? Was it extraterrestrial? I've forgotten. I have to be perfectly honest about it. Alright, extraterrestrial. I was correct. Nice. I'm waiting for the two wingers being baked in another club in my league. My league colleague is doing that for me. So I get to see them play most weeks. And I hope that, like, if he's about to score against me, I hope it's one of those guys. And they'll be mythical. I think that, like 17.3 or so when I take them over, right? That's the plan anyway. It'll be stressing about the whole transfer business. Ah well, I'm going for premium. Well, not premium, because if you are like, if it's a premium cycle, you would probably go magical wing. China going up now by 1. Pacey Hajikba. Kazakhstan extending their lead as well. Second goal of the evening for Stanislav Sakno. A goal in the central sector, and there'll be no complaints from the Philippines about that goal because they have a 76% conversion rate. What will you pay for the transfer to get 2 mythical defenders? Somewhere in the area between 85 million to 100 million Danish, and that would be 8.5 to 100. One of the guys is quick, and he's quite good with side skills as well. Oh, China scoring another here. Corner, Ling Ping Hao. And now they are trying to consolidate the lead. Yeah, they're changing positions here. 8 million plus is a good guess. It's hard to say. Pona is yeah, because that's half. So let me just think for a sec. Like, that's the conversion rate. I had to type it. Or euro for that matter. Anyway, 8 million euros or dollars, pounds, that area, right? It'll be an interesting time to transfer them over. Obviously, I also want to not overspend on it, but I want to reward my friend as well. Not in any way that's off the, like, not anything that would be but not in hat trick, right? Isn't $2 Australian Just $1 in a hat trick. All right, let's just see Albania in a counter-attack here. Ivan Matraco pulls it into the box at a perfect angle. If it's a central attack, it might be nice for Albania, but it's unsuccessful this time around. It's on the left side. Kazakhstan is actually up by 4 now. What's going on? A PNF goal from Esim Basilov after a free kick attempt, and then Peyda Denislamov settles the question of qualification for Kazakhstan. Man, bro, luckily the conversion rates are a little less complicated than hat-trick. But the other day we had a guy from India. And then it starts to get kind of complicated, because then you have to multiply the dollar by 40 in order to find his conversion rate. And as long as we are dealing with multiplying or dividing by 10, more or less, then it's reasonable. But at some point it just gets harder to convert. We have an injury for Kuwait. Masi Jalilpur leaves the field and Jamal Ismail replaces him. That's up front. They do have a chance in one sector here. And they should be counter-attacking. They are extraterrestrial counter-attack tactics level from the guests. We have a chance for Vietnam here. But it's in a 2% conversion rate sector. Surely that won't be successful this time, unfortunately. Action-packed first half. 8, 9, 11, 15 goals in the first half. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to add the Euro Cup final. How is it actually going down between Ireland and Poland? Because that's a surprise encounter. You could say that. Italy lost, and we are looking at an Irish team in the lead here. Donald Holmes Sherlock put them in the lead after 11 minutes. And here we have Poland in a counter. And there's the equalizer. We came into this match just as they equalized here. Angola going up by 2 now, and are actually now leading in the tie against Thailand. Mauricio Moss. And we have an instant reaction from the bench. Can still go both ways in this this matchup. Very open. Vidovka was the man equalizing in the European Under-21s Cup final. 10 minutes remaining of the first half. Here we've had a quick event for Sao Tao. I'm not even certain what this team's this country is called in Danish. Oh, the same as apparently so. Bangladesh. Not finding a way through the Maltese defense so far. And now over to the reporter in Denmark. Both the national team and the under-21s leading 1-0. Well, we're playing friendly against Sweden, and who are the grown-ups playing? Welcome in the chat, Bagge. We're playing the Faroe Islands. All right. Very nice. Perhaps we should just add them. Yeah, we'll do so. Just in case we have a few Danish managers joining in. A classic encounter for the under-21s, Denmark against Sweden. Did you know, guys, that Denmark won the first ever national match in national team match in hat-trick? Denmark won against Sweden. There, we talked about Aditar early on, talking about conversion rates in India and how it's not very convenient. Nice to see you. Welcome to the chat, Aditar. Nice to see yet another returning member of the community. Oh, Sweden. Because why did we go live today? Because we're following the under-21 national wildcard World Cup games to see who will qualify for the under-21s World Cup. Ireland going up again. Richard Boyle, right-handed attack. Peter Vettis. Hello, welcome. So the whole story about Denmark winning the first ever national team match in hat-trick is, well, like before all the Danes go, yeah, go Denmark. It was a clone of the Swedish national team. So Sweden actually beat Sweden under the Danish flag. If you have to be truthful about the whole matter. But still, Denmark. And then you had a seriously long tradition of Sweden winning everything they touched for quite a while. Sao Tome and Principe are going up by 2 goals and are looking fairly comfortable in the matchup against Albania. What was the score? Sweden, Denmark in the first test. I thought, as far as I remember, it ended 1-0 for Denmark. Sort of like a cricket style, like a test game. I don't know anything about cricket, but I always just stumble upon the fact that, like, it's an international test game. So when do you play an actual game? I don't know. What about tomorrow? I won't be on tomorrow evening. I'll be back Sunday evening with the San Marino stuff. And we'll also, Sunday evening, we'll also be scouting, hopefully, because we did. Finally, I'm pleased to tell you guys that I had 5 pops in Fabriken with the whole step/skill trading project, so we get to do some scouting. Which is nice because we haven't been able to. I messed up a week's training and then we just didn't have any pops, but finally. Malta away in a counter. Let's see if they can hit one of the sides rather than the central attack. They can't, and they'll probably end up missing this time, unfortunately. So for Malta, and they are still trailing by 1 3 minutes to go in the first half. And no worries, Atta. A lot of new players in the Danish lineup for under 21s tonight. Can't really say I know many of them. I talked about the henchmen before. Like whenever you see HL in a Danish team, Hungary is the worst luck of them all. So they missed... Wow, they missed a left... No, they missed a central attack with the 86%, right? So they only had a... They only had one big miss, but it was like... It was a sitter. It was supposed to, like, he was basically shooting from the line. Yeah, little rivalry forming, perhaps a friendly rivalry in the chat tonight. Some people rooting for North Macedonia, some people rooting for Hungary. I think it's hard to go through a community chat at some point without seeing a little friendly rivalry. We have 1 minute to go in the first half. Okay, bro, I'll be there on Sunday. Have a nice day. You too, Adita. Have a nice weekend. Hola, HD. Welcome. And in the match before, it was supposed to be 2-4 and it was 3-3, unfortunately. Oh, on Monday, I didn't do much review of the first leg matches. For this one, I just looked over the scores. But there's still 45 minutes to play in a 50-50 game. And I would even say I wouldn't even say 50-50. It's tipping in favor of Hungary. Just a break. Slight favor, because you never know. Like, they seem to be volatile when they're so open. Very volatile match engine in such case. So anything could happen in the second half, and it's all about one goal. So let's run over the halftime scores here and the aggregate scores as well. So between Georgia and Algeria, the score is 0-0, and We have Georgia up by 2 in the aggregate. Uganda and Kuwait, that's 0-0 all the way through. China leading 2-0 against Vietnam, up by 3-1 in the aggregate. And Angola up by 2, leading 4-3 in the aggregate against Thailand. Kazakhstan, dare I say, they are qualified, leading 6-0 in the aggregate. Argentina down 0-2 and 2-4 in the aggregate against Tanzania. Surprising to see a strong nation. They have 60 times the user base in Argentina. We just calculated. Anyway, Uruguay leading 1-0 against Pakistan for a total aggregate of 2-0. Sao Tome and Principe leading 2-0 against Albania. That's also the aggregate score in that matchup. Uzbekistan down by 1-0 against Benin, but leading 2-1 in the aggregate. Nonetheless, Bangladesh in a deadlocked 0-0 match so far, but leading 1 goal in the 1-0 in the aggregate. Then Hungary down 1-2 against North Macedonia and down 4-5 in the aggregate. In the Europe Cup, the 21's final, we have Ireland leading 2-1 against Poland. And then we have 2 Danish friendlies here. Denmark leading against Sweden, the 21's, and Denmark leading against the Faroe Islands in their friendly as well. Right, so we were talking about most people in the chat have followed as we were researching a bit and also trying to execute on a few deals and some scouting in regards to skill and step trading. And it has to be said that Massimiliano Luca here is not like a direct, it's a spillover from my former training program, but Evo Agueles, Silvestre Cosina, and Joel Samayoa, I think. Perhaps that's how you pronounce it. But they've all popped, and if we go over, I've set them a little lower than the transfer compare, but if you look at this, bear in mind you have to divide by 10 here. So the asking price now is 500,000. I bought it for 200,000. He's been in the team for 4 weeks, so it potentially a good deal. If we look at Cosina, he's up now for 100 and I'm saying 1 million. 1.1 million. Bought him for 700,000. Been at the club for 5 weeks, so potentially a good deal as well there. And the final, Samayoa, up for perhaps not the best of the deals. Been in the club for, yeah, this will not be the best trade. 5 weeks, up for 260,000 euros, like this, and I bought him for 100,000 euros. So we'll have to be better at identifying the deals, certainly, but we have some number crunching to do in order to find a better threshold, and that's what I'm keeping tabs on in my sheet. So I always notice when they pop, the form, and looking at the numbers for potential profit, it certainly looks like from a very little statistical, it might be that looking closely at outstanding skill traits to world class is a good way to go. Outstanding, brilliant, potentially good, but it will take more careful scouting than I've been doing so far. Anyway, I keep telling myself, perhaps maybe I'll show you my my sheet actually. If I can. I think that looks all right. So this is like the raw version of this of the sheet, and if you see the figures in bold. Wait a minute. Did I forget Samayoa? I did. So see, he's in an inadequate form. But whenever it's marked in bold, that's because he actually popped. Then I would take it to this other sheet. And now I'm slowly preparing, finding an actual threshold of all the outstanding players in inadequate form. So you'll need a lot more data than I'm including at the moment. But yeah, it's a process, right? Perhaps it makes sense. Perhaps it only makes sense to me. That's the question. Perfectly fine if it only makes sense to me, because I'm the one using the numbers, right? If need be, I'll have those numbers ready for the cycle training. We have about 6 minutes until we start out with the second half. I'll just set a little break screen here and I'll be back covering the second half as soon as they start. Even before, that's not ending, just a break. See you guys soon. Alright guys, hope you are almost ready for the second half. It's just over a minute away, and as I said, looking closely to see if we will see especially Argentina being knocked out tonight. That would be a very big surprise. If that should happen. Very big surprise, at least to me. Wouldn't that be the biggest surprise to you guys? Or am I wrong about that? Anyway, I think we'll just have a quick look at what to look for in case we have to do some business. Right, let's see, setting this a little differently here at least. I'm trying to sell them at least. I'm trying to sell 5 players. I went over them just before the break. So Joel here, Sylvester, and Evo are proper skill traits, step traits rather, depending on what term you prefer. And Ruga and Bungor are spillover players from my last training program. I just wanted them to gain another level in playmaking to see how it worked out, if wingers are worth looking at. Doesn't look like it, to be honest. Let's go a little. I can certainly tell that the minimum TSI of 6,000 I have in my filter from last time I was scouting is definitely not high enough from the numbers I'm seeing already in my sheet. Anyway, I think we better just get back to the live matches here. Changes coming for Argentina, and you understand why they are trailing by 2 in a very open matchup here. Let's see what they actually do. This is the biggest surprise of the evening so far. Okay, let's see. Whoops, let's not knock over any glasses or anything now, because we have to follow closely. Pablo Cesar Rinaldi, offensive. That's the right winger going offensive. Casiano, so they want to put more pressure in the right hand side, and that means Usagadjes and central attack as well. Interesting developments here. Let's go over the other matches and see if there's any major adjustments. We've had a chance for Kuwait already, missing in the right side, and another attack for Kuwait instantly almost. Hanat al-Darani. Oh wait, it was Uganda with a missed chance. And here we go. It must have been on the right side for Kuwait. No, a central counterattack brings them in the lead. Anad Al-Tarani. And now they... No, that's Uganda trying to adjust in order to turn the tides here. PNF coming on. Might be a good shot. But he's up against 3 central defenders, so could be a tough working conditions for the PNF in this situation. We'll have to see about that as the match goes on. No other major adjustments here in the beginning of the second half. A free kick for Malta on the counter. Let's see if we get an equalizer. We do. We do get an equalizer. Adrian Loporto. And now it's all open. Benin going up by 2. Also a free kick after a counter here. Chialoka Vigan in the second. In the 4th minute of play. In my inner midfield cycle, I'm also buying a PNF and PDM to train all PDM. Makes good sense because those 2 special roles are very strong. And I train my 2 wingers and I'll buy 2 inner midfield trainings for the other 21s. You have your 6 slots filled, but you'll buy the PNF later, I guess. You'll need to find someone half-baked, right? Otherwise, he'll be having a lot of extra defense, I suppose. Were you were getting players assigned by the national team squad, right? Wasn't it something like that? Yeah, okay. I'm on the fence about my future PNF right now because he'll lack a little in end skills. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay. Also, you'll get him off for a big deal. You'll trade him away for someone else to train and then he'll return to your team, or... That's also a way to do it. But I'm a little on the fence. He will not be an S tier or even A tier PNF, but he'll be Danish for certain in regards to wages. So all my core players will be Danish, which is a plus. Maybe I shouldn't stress about it too much right now. In case he's not quite good enough for the end product, I'll have a player to sell, swap around. Sometimes I'm overthinking things a little too much when it comes to the cycle. But only a little too much, because there's no much. All I know about that principle, because I've been thinking a lot about it as well. You have to sometimes. I go to bed thinking of the cycles or different cycles I can do. Sometimes I do that as well. Often, okay, I'll be honest, often I do that. I'm a hat-trick super enthusiast. I'll admit it. If you haven't noticed already. 8 minutes in. We're still waiting for the action to start up here as Kazakhstan continuously pounding away at Filipinas. Oh, Hamson, I forgot your question. Did Argentina underestimate Tanzania or what? It's tough to say, really. The thing is, at under 21's level, it's not always, you don't always have a massive difference between, even though you have 100 active teams. If Tanzania comes with a very strong generation and have a bit of luck, and Argentina is just slightly unlucky in this situation, I want more teams. I'll be honest, at least now that, like, I have to do a few deals, most likely, even before the Sunday game. And with such a project, it's not like I feel like I need a fourth team right now. Yes, I'll admit it, I probably don't need a fourth team right now. I want a team in different stages of competitiveness. That makes good sense, and sometimes I'm kicking myself a little that I have a team in Denmark and a team in San Marino competing, just being 1 week apart in cycles, in the cycle training. Perhaps they'll be competing for players, but yeah, with the players coming through, at that point, I mean, it's just, I had to go. Your teams will end up in the Hat-Trick Masters final. I don't know. I'll be honest, my goal is not to... my goal is to play in the not in the Hat-Trick Masters at some point. You do need a fourth team, don't kid yourself. Yeah. I'm just trying to sound like a somewhat sensible adult here. I guess I'm not too convincing. I haven't had much response. I know for certain that I will not be trying out the homegrown league because of the restrictions. It's too restricted for me. If I get enough players in my youth academy, I need to abandon my cycle and restart. I feel mine isn't optimized at the moment. But that's in your secondary team, right? Is it because of the age gap we're talking about? Let's remember to keep an eye on the teams here. Weren't you just getting started with the... I only have the homegrown winger. Want more homegrowns? Ah, I see. Yeah. Ah, like that. That's always the... Algeria. Clawing one back. Now they're just trading by one. Let's get it, Malta. That's not Malta. Oh, they scored as well. Oh, that's... Ah, you fooled me there. That's a while ago. That's 10 minutes ago, but Malta is up by one. Mario Greco. That's Uruguay. Nishad rushing out to stop him here. Oh, he saves. Nishad saves here. All tied in the aggregate. How many of these games, or these ties, I should rather say, do you think ends up in extra time? Is that a side netting here? I'm still thinking about if we could assemble a little community in the Hat-Trick International League and have a league running like that. Because the fact that I don't feel like playing in the Homegrown League. Question is, would it even be possible to gather for the first season of the Homegrown League? Would it be open? And would it be possible to make divisional swaps in order to play together in the first season? Because if that's not the case, there's no rush in order to get it settled before the start of the next season anyway. If there's even any interest in this. Tough to say. We are an hour into the contest here, 30 minutes remaining of the regular time. Kazakhstan completely demolishing the under-21 Philippines. And only now I've just... Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get the... We have an equalizer in the match between under-21 Georgia and Algeria. They keep the distance at 2 now, with a goal for 1-1 in this match. This time, Otia Fansolia left side attack for Georgia, and now they are looking a little more comfortable again in regards to the qualifying. A lot of players will have a free team slot for an international league. Yeah, but what I'm speculating is that we will not be able to perhaps, but I wouldn't be able to get my team. I'm not closing any of my teams right now because I don't have an anniversary league team. I mean, people could do it without me, but yeah. Oh yeah, the anniversary league is not a paid team. True. You're right, Hamson. What am I talking about? Yeah, the thing is, I'm a little worried that the league will open and you won't have time to gather the teams. If you want to play, like make a community league in the Hat-Trick International instead. And if that's the case, there'll be yet another season to sort things out. So right now I'm not really stressing about it, but I don't know how they usually go about opening the new leagues for registration. Prior to the new season. Is it after the league transfer window? Before? Can't you make a closed league by invitation to international league? Perhaps. It all depends when they open the leagues, and if you could. Yeah, but you would have to rely if registration opens after the divisional transfer window, where you can swap series. Then you would have to rely on being placed in a league with a lot of bots. Then you could invite other people. But isn't that system only in order to invite new people to the game? I haven't paid attention whenever they open up a new nation. When can people actually register a new team in a new league? I've seen that people continuously register again in order to gain to be awarded a slot in like a first place team in order to get a big prize money, like a big money prize initially, because for some reason they end up they get that. It's pretty stupid. They should disable prize money for the first season. We'll see. There's no reason to overthink that, at least. Can I have my 3 teams in the same division? Is that possible? I think that's only if it's the last resort. I don't think you could league. You wouldn't be able to do a league series swap. I'm fairly certain. I'm not even sure you could play in the same division. No, you can't. And if you have a team in the top flight and you have another team in the same league, as in country, promoting, I think they'll just block the promotion and you'll have to stay down. But if you promote to, say, Division 2, they would swap you into another series before the promotion actually occurs, before you move divisions. But I think they'll just straight up block the promotion if you already have a team in the top flight. So if you ever make sure your most competitive team is ahead. Anyway, I'm just intrigued by the possibility of playing together in a smaller hat-trick community. Malta up by 2 now, and now they're actually leading in the tie. A central attack on the counter, a 3% conversion rate. Wow. Hat-trick international games are played for me at Saturday at 3:15 a.m. Yeah, that'll always be a major drawback to Pakistan. Now leading 3-2 in the aggregate. An attack in the left side. Sohaib Shasep. Yeah, unfortunately, Mambo. That's a bummer. That's always going to be a hindrance. We have a lot of interesting ties on our hands here. Argentina hasn't been able to pull much back. I have to go sneak your back. Sorry about that. This came out of nowhere, that sneeze. Argentina not looking too good here. 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes is a long time, a hat trick, obviously. But Georgia with a change here. Solomon Kiveladze being substituted with Imidashvili coming on. That's on the right back. China leading by 2. And we have a reaction from Vietnam right now, going into the final 20 minutes of the matches here. Let's just take a look at the Ireland-Poland matchup here. It could go either way. Still very open contest. Ireland all-out attack. We'll see if Poland... They've only had one counter-attack so far, so a lot could happen still here. Changes from the Ireland side 20 minutes ago. Angel Alachov with a chance here for North Macedonia. Is that in the right side? No, that's an unpredictable attack. I'm surprised to see that we've only seen 3 goals in these sectors. Quite surprised. Really surprised, even. Let's see here. Malta overtaking in the aggregate, leading by 1 goal here. Tied between Uzbekistan and Benin. Pakistan leading by 1 against Uruguay. Argentina down by 2. And I think Tanzania is trying to consolidate the lead now. Kazakhstan demolishing the Philippines. Angola trying to park the bus now. Kuwait leading Uganda. I'm thinking of getting another team. I'm always thinking of getting another team. Oh, when we have the first nervous team tonight, it's Georgia, but they're leading. Obviously that's also the reason why they get nervous. It'd be cool to get a bunch of us in one series. I mean, if like if we get 8, I'm saying it out. If we get 8 players ready, 8 managers ready to start up a community at like the first series, could even be that we fill more. But if we get 8 people ready for a league in the HDI, I'm down. I'm getting the 4th team. That's just a very good chance for some good old fun. I'd be down for that. Certainly. The HDI, that's the Hat-Trick International League. Now the HDI, like if you look at Denmark here, like countries, you can just go for the Hat-Trick International. So if you look at the top flight, you get to say that the players in the team is from Cambodia. So if you wanted to play in the Hat-Trick International, you could still be producing Dutch players for the national team. See if we can find a homegrown player here. This guy. See, he's still Cambodian. So that's the reason why I would want to make a series in that league rather than the homegrown league, which will work the same way in regards to nationality with the homegrown players. It'll be just like HGI. That's also like if you saw the podcast episode with Mambo. That's also my proposal of solving the whole Oceania situation. Like have an Oceania league and then have teams represent different countries. The schedule for... I'll show you. Schedule is league games. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't come across so clearly in the episode, but where do we actually see this? Oh, right here. Cup matches Tuesday, 4 o'clock. League matches Saturday, 5:15 p.m. hat-trick time. Christmas time, what the? Whoops, wrong page. Pakistan. No, that's a while ago. What's the benefit of the HDI? I think that would be that you could play together while with international friends and hat-trick while still benefiting your own country's player pool. Which I think is pretty cool when you think about it. Right, so Ben's up for it. Nice. I'll make a dedicated channel for it in the Discord. And then Can you still join the hat-trick masters? I think so. I'm not entirely sure. Get a proper view here. Who won? The turtles. It doesn't look like it. But perhaps in the future, if they are upgrading the whole format anyway. That's not a deal breaker for me. That's not a deal breaker for me. Malta getting nervous. Poland equalizing in the European Cup under 21's final. A counterattack in the right side, and perhaps Ireland paid the price. How many counterattacks? Only 2 for Poland so far. And what if we look at the magical tactic level? They could very well turn this around and take the gold medals as it stands at the moment, because even with the central attack, they have a very good chance of scoring. But I honestly think with they're rethinking the hat-trick masters format. And perhaps they could include the hat-trick international. They should. Also because they are including the Anniversary League team next season, as far as I've understood. So we'll see. But as I said, honestly, not a deal breaker for me. That such a league would be about having fun with the community, not playing hard competitively necessarily. Kuwait looking like they are going to qualify for the World Cup here. Jamal Ismail, I think he was substituted on. He was in the 31st minute, and now they're leading 2-0 in the match and in the aggregate. Looking positive for Kuwait at least. All right, we have Ireland. Gary O'Dallach instantly going for the half volley here. Yeah, it would be nice with some friendly banter. Off the post for Ireland here, still tied at 2 goals each in this encounter for the European gold medal. Let's see, Tanzania on the ball here. Attack on the left flank, they could actually score. Potentially qualifying here. He curves a wonderful shot into the far corner. Is it 3? Oh, a glorious save by Rankan here. China with the PNF goal here from Shan Shangwan. And they must certainly be feeling confident about their qualification now. Interesting developments here. Let's see. North Macedonia looking to try to secure the lead. Tutunsiewski. Now playing normally instead of offensively. We've only seen 7 chances in this one. With these ratings, we might be in for a hell of a ride at the closing minutes of this match. It could be far from over. That's what I'm trying to say in this matchup. So still tied here, Uzbekistan and Benin as well. Looking at some extra time, at least in one of the matches. Tanzania now nervous about the whole situation. You understand that Argentina is a big hat-trick nation and would be a massive win. A giant killing feat. Poland. Prevoshny. It's probably not the way to pronounce it. They actually score on the counter in the central attack. As I just pointed out, they could even score in this sector. And it looks like the all-out attack, the gung-ho from Ireland, backfires upon them now. Denmark scored a second goal, and it was Elo Hartmann. So, looks like we have just a single match going into extra time. But anything could happen in most of the games still. a lot of goals in these international matches. It's not always the case at the under 21s level, simply because at times it's hard to generate really convincing attack ratings on this level. But it seems it hasn't been a hindrance today, where we've seen at least 2 goals in all of the matches. The question is, do we get 1 or more matches in extra time? What do you guys think? Will we see some extra time here perhaps? I think we have Hungary. There's an equalizer here from Hungary. That's the weakest sector, so we could probably argue that luck-wise, with the 90% chance in the first half, it's probably more even now for Hungary, but an equalizer there, and that means we are looking at the possibilities of two matches going to extra time as things stand right now. Interesting developments, but not fairly certain, but it could very well. There's another chance, and it looks like it's Janos Dupa coming up with something for Hungary here in the 85th minute. It's a move down the middle, 82% chance of converting a shot here. Let's see what happens. Sometimes just a little too long with those reports here, but Hungary going up 3 goals to 2. With that being said, 4 minutes to go. Still arguing that we may not have seen the last goal of this matchup. Still everything to play for. Substitution from North Macedonia here. They're probably trying to change some things here. Pavle Gortic, I remember him scoring at some point during the campaign here. And we have a final adjustment, I think, here for North Macedonia. Wow. 3 minutes to go. Everything could happen. Everything could happen in this matchup. He wasn't tired for all that long in this matchup. We have a nasty tackle by Ricardo Pop. Yellow card for the PNF in this situation. Let's see if we have an injury. That would be a major headache for North Macedonia. A major headache because they've just used the final substitution. There's the injury, unfortunately so. But it's just a bandage situation, so a very small injury for Janeski. Imagine. Two minutes remaining. I think we'll keep a closer eye. There's a corner for North Macedonia. Let's see what's... Jovan Tutunchievsky at the ball. Let's see how he delivers. Crucial situation here. Kasim Katria rises above the crowd of players, buzzing like a blue hornet through the air and scores with a header, stinging the opposition. Are you serious? There it is, the equalizer. 1 minute to go here, and we are looking at extra time in this one. But as I said, there's a foul. Netherlands have been knocked out. Unfortunately, but I heard about some situation with Turkey potentially throwing a few games and ending up hurting Netherlands. We'll take a look at the group after the. Man, I guess I really need to start training Dutch under 21s. Nice diagonal pass for. What did it say? To the left. Left-sided attack here. Easily collected by the keeper. That's unlucky for Hungary, lucky for North Macedonia. And now I think we have a nervous event in the final minute. Counter-attack for Malta again, yeah. Denmark wins against Sweden. Angola qualifies against Thailand. Congratulations to the African side. Yeah, it's 4 goals all. Is that the guess? Macedonia. The right attack. Reloading here. What? Are you kidding me? How much time was added? That's the... Wow, 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 wow. Wow, we do have the 4th goal for Hungary here. Amazing contest here for the neutral viewer. Must be nerve-wracking for the crowds here. What about that? So how long do I have to scroll in order to see how much time? Janeski, he's really in the mix of things here because now he's already gotten. He's also got a booking here. I can't even find. Oh, because that's they're only now announcing the extra time to be played. Uganda, Kuwait qualifies. China qualifies after a 3-0 win. Kazakhstan demolishes the Philippines 7-0. And Sao Tome and Principe qualifies as well after winning 2-0 against Albania. 3 minutes added, and I think the match ends here. The official time ends. That means it'll go to extra time. And I've messed up the relive here, but if we get a little... If we do get 5 minutes to just take a look at the results, we'll do so while they get ready for the extra time. And also, we are in a relive. Sometimes I really dislike this system. We also have extra time between Uzbekistan and Benin. And it looks like... Oh my. Right, we will pull up the overview in just a sec and we will look at all the matches. Let's just clean up the viewer here and take a look at first. Poland wins. Backfire of the all-out attack for Ireland is a fact here. And looking at the ratings, it could have gone either way. It's always dangerous leaving your defense sectors with this kind of numbers. Let's pull up the wildcard matches and see here. Georgia qualifying against Algeria. Uganda, Kuwait qualifying, China qualifying. We do have Angola qualifying, the African side here, and very clear winner between the Philippines and the Kazakhstan outfit. 9 goals to nothing on aggregate. That's wild. Argentina going out. Very surprising to see such a result here. Pakistan knocking out Uruguay as well. Interesting for the South American teams in this edition of the World Cup. 2 major outfits not representing. Sao Tome and Principe knocks out Albania. We have extra time between Uzbekistan and Benin. And then we have Malta qualifying ahead of Bangladesh in their encounter. Anyway, let's take a look at the situation with the Netherlands in their group. So they finished behind Serbia here. Better goal difference. The thing is controversial. The controversy comes here if you look at the last few matches for Turkey. So they lose 0-5 in this one against Serbia, who finished above Netherlands. Look at these ratings though. Perhaps it's not bad. Well, if you look at the game against the Czech Republic, look at these ratings, however. I don't know, I felt like they were screaming and shouting about it. I mean, they do produce a world-class midfield. I mean, maybe I shouldn't fire any shots. Still, it's very surprising to see the Netherlands here. Again, as it's been the case in most groups, very tight, very tight. What happened to Netherlands? Did you guys just get an awful start? An awful start to the campaign, having 2 points after 4 rounds. 3 points after 9. 3 points after 5 rounds. After 6 even. Yeah. Nah, perhaps I've misunderstood the situation about Turkey in that one, but I did see some a little something about that match, at least. That has to be said. or if they just surge right ahead. How many chances did we eventually have in the match between Hungary and North Macedonia? We did get 14 chances, 4 goals each. Still everything to play for. Absolutely thrilling encounter here. Perhaps not the most high-scoring situation between Uzbekistan and Benin. We've seen 13 chances, 11 chances for Uzbekistan. That's really unlucky that they haven't even qualified yet. That's the trouble of playing a one-trick pony with a side attack. Always risky. You'll never know, and it always feels terribly bad when you don't get enough attacks in the left side. Few attacks in the right side. This is the wrong match. I'll have to be looking at this one. They've even had 3 chances in the left side. If we look at the conversion rates, so if you see the chance of not scoring the first time is 52%, and then the chance of not scoring the second time, second chance, let's just go with 52, and then again. 69th minute. 53. What are the actual chances of not having scored 3 times? Wow. They must feel very unlucky. There should have been some 86% chance of being up after 3 chances in the left side with such a conversion rate. The 3 chances they've had so far, they haven't scored, but it hasn't happened. I guess sometimes probability feels more like either it happens or it doesn't. It's 50-50, but I guess it's not. That's not how it works, but sometimes it feels like that's how it works. Maybe I'm gibbery. Yeah. I'm just yapping about it now. Not too much action. Chances. The question is, do we even see any action before an eventual penalty shootout? Anyway, I'll need some more water, so be right back. Oh, there's plenty of action. North Macedonia. Erkant Muhaseri puts North Macedonia in the lead. 15 chances in total. Right attack. Wow, 9 goals.
Hey,
And we've actually had a chance between Uzbekistan and Benin here. But still, tied in that one. What happened? I think my headset just restarted. Wait a minute, did I miss a goal for Uzbekistan? In the 97th minute. I think the viewer must have been hanging here severely. Alright, it looks like we are not facing penalty shootouts in either of the games right now. We have one more half of extra time remaining before we have played every possible minute of football in regulation time, that is. Also scouting a little while. I'm doing that in a window on the side. Potentially finding a few targets for the hot list. We can go over these once matches have been settled here. Finding a few that might be interesting. Looking for some bro deals. Well, yeah, I'll be going out tomorrow and visiting a friend, and I see that some of the transfer deadlines are while that's supposed to be going on, so we'll see if I remember. But this time, all lineups have been set before I go anywhere, so I'm not messing anything up. Oh, he was... Sometimes when you find a player and you think, yeah, I got another target. Oh, you already hotlisted him. He was bad. Alright, I found 3 targets for now. That'll have to do. We'll just refresh the viewer for the final bit here. We have 2 matches left in extra time. And both of those matches are looking like they'll be settled before the penalty shootout as things stands here. We have Hungary trailing by 1 goal, 4 goals to 5 against North Macedonia, and Uzbekistan against Benin. And in that game, the aggregate score is 3 goals to the home team and 2 for Benin. So trailing just slightly. But the smallest of margins here in both of the matches, and anything could happen, especially if we get a loose chance in this all-out frenzy between Hungary and North Macedonia. Wow. Following it closely. I'm so paranoid I set my tactics for the next match right after the current one finishes. Usually I do it in very good time, and I mean for my primary team matches are, let me just double check. Well, the match is set and it's been for a while, and been looking over the match tactics for the coming round as well a few times. So yeah. Kelvin Lewis. What? Oh, I didn't get to read that message. No worries. 9 minutes left of the second half of extra time here. Looking like we find 2 final qualifiers for the under-21s World Championship. North Macedonia and Benin. Not quite the same action-packed experience we had in the second half, but we'll see if Hungary or Uzbekistan potentially have what it takes to equalize the scores at this point. Players are starting to look a little weathered. For more than 110 minutes of play for most of the players. Hungary haven't made any substitutions. That's actually an interesting fact here. Just started my hat-trick season. Do you think it's worth buying players around 17 years old that you're training at the beginning? I also have a youth academy. Just wondering if I can keep my expenses in check. It's what training type are you going with, Kelvin, and welcome. But most certainly yes. It'll take a little patience, but I think it's worth passing over a few deals that may look good. Okay. Well, you should be able to find some capable 17 years old. It'll require a little patience to find a good deal. But you should be able to find some 17-year-olds with passable relevant skills rather than solid. The downside of going with scoring is you need to find 6 players in order to do effective training. The primary spots. That might be a little hard until you get some gate receipts and some other income. But I'll tell you this much. With my team in San Marino, with the starting cash, I was able to get proper talents for the 4 primary winger slots. For players that I could sell for approximately 4 million, 3.5, 4 million euros in like 2 seasons or so. With the starting money. And get a level 4, which used to be a solid coach, relatively quick. Yeah, what's your team name? Do you think inadequate is worth it? It certainly could be worth it if you find inadequate scorers, and then you have a little. I would then hope to see some passable side skills at least. But it would even be worth it to just train them a few. Like let's take a look at the market in 5 minutes or so once the matches are over. We'll take a look at the team as well. I'll be happy to take a quick look at it. But it should be possible to find something. It might take a little more patience, but that's always a favorable approach, to take a little more patience with your deals. Initially, with a brand new team, it does mean you won't be able to. Yeah, but I would always prioritize getting the players in first, Hansen, and then slowly update the staff setup. It doesn't make sense to have the staff if you don't have the players. Then you're just wasting money while you're not having any players. I would certainly go the other way around it. Hey Nova, late as usual. It's perfectly fine to see you. I'm glad to see you in the chat here. We do have 2 matches, which looks like they might be ending in a few minutes. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, for a new team, you end up not getting the player if you are patient, because you won't have the money, and that feels frustrating. Once you've more settled, you end up overspending, which may not be as frustrating because at least you still get a player, but you'll be wasting money and you'll be looking at different deals. I know for the few profit players I invested in recently on my Danish team, I can show you those guys in a minute. I spent more scouting time on those than I would probably for trainees for a brand new team, simply because I need to gain as much profit from it potentially as possible. I mean, from a squad club building perspective, that's where you can like, sometimes it feels like it would be nice if there would be some kind of things you could grind or like play continuously in hat-trick in order to make your team better, like if you spend a lot of time on it. But that, like, the scouting, the time you put into scouting, the good deals, and being consistent in setting like a max I like the max bid option, not because it gives me the chance to instantly bid for another player. Penalties ahead. Oh, wait! I missed the Hungary goal. Wow, I'm not paying attention. Penalties up ahead in the European encounter here. Our friend just decided to get his second team and we spent a few hours in Discord hunting for cheap and good wingers to train. That was really fun. I can imagine. I remember sitting in Messenger with friends and scouting, like doing a combined effort in order to scout for the nice players, and like feeling annoyed by the fact when you were just on the brink of getting a really good deal and then someone comes in and spoils all the fun. But as I said, Kelvin, that's where you can get a snowball effect if you continuously do well in the market. And as someone said, most often you do not earn money when you sell. You earn money when you buy, when you make a good purchase. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember if it was YouTube chat or Twitch chat, because the Danish league coverage I do on Twitch and in Danish also, and we talked about it, I think. And scouting is where, that's where you get a like, if you do it well, obviously, but that's where you get a return of spending a lot of time on hat-trick planning and scouting. Anyway, looks like we have Hungary still. Okay, this is a annoying track, to be honest. Maybe a little too stressful here. Am I missing something here? Aren't we supposed to go to penalties now? At least in this match? Didn't show the 5-minute offset, or like it usually does in club matches. Okay, let's just let's see. Spurbleham FC. Oh, you did find a lot of players already. What? This looks half decent. He's quick. Powerful. Managed to sell one of your starting players. That's pretty good. Nice. A few of them even. That's a good start. Let's just check up on the live page here. Did they mess up the time indicator here simply because of the aggregate thingy? I think they did. Anyway, looks like you are on the right track. With your strikers here, perhaps I would advise against training this batch for too long. And look at upgrading, swapping them out once they gain a few. Because you could argue that the starting TSI is a little low. Something going wrong with the matches here? Or? Or perhaps I would set it not at 17 and 3 days, but 20 days, so. Yeah, that's a nice approach. Do you think there's something up with the match engine? Oh, it's... They made a substitution. Okay, the viewer's hanging severely. Wow. Anyway, I think... the other match engine, at least. Anyway, let's take a look at scoring passable. And... now I'm just trying something like passable here. Quick. Hit, unpredictable. We didn't really go with anything here. Yeah, it is some weird delay, but the thing is... it was hanging because I didn't see the... This seems very odd. If this is supposed to be executed, this order in 119 minutes in. Let's see. Okay. This guy perhaps like a head specialist. Powerful guy here. Thing is, you have to find 6 of these guys. What does the compare say on such a guy? To 5 million. You have to divide by 10 in order to find the figure in that. Okay, penalties have started here, but the view is hanging severely. And let's just see the first. Okay, the first penalty for Hungary was a goal. And the second penalty, it doesn't show the whole penalties thingy. What if we go to the actual match page? It doesn't show the penalty interface. That's very strange. I think you want, like as I said, you'd want to upgrade them fairly quick and not keep them too long when starting out at inadequate. But I think it's a good way to start. I'd like to show you. I'm not trying to convince you in order to train wingers if you've settled on scoring. Luckily, my baby keeps me up at night. I can stalk the market at ungodly hours. Talking about penalty shootouts, one of the secondary cups in Mexico was decided with a coin toss after 22 penalties. What? Hope we get the same here. The view is absolutely terrible at the moment here. Hungary executing as well on the second penalty, and I'll have to reload every time, I think. This time we had Gabor Yoshi. 22 penalties and a coin toss. It'll be a long evening here. Oh, excuse me. It usually takes a few minutes. Macedonia also scoring on the second effort in the penalty shootout here. Now it's 2-2. 2 goals each in the penalty shootout. Nerve-wracking. The reason why I like to recommend wingers for fresh teams, I'll just quickly show you before we go back. Let's just put it up like winger passable, quick, unpredictable, and headers. Headers are fine. And TSI at least 950. That's my usual startup search filter. And you see some of them will go wide high. This is 2.7, 270,000 euros. But this guy's is 36,000 euros in little low playmaking, unfortunately, but scoring is the major component for a quick winger anyway. You'll go at a good price. You only need to find 4 of these guys. And wingers are probably the best mono skill option there is. And initially you could just worry about the primary spots and then get good, like practice a little with the back slots. A very good way to earn money. An easy filter to apply. Hungary have scored on their third penalty and now lead by 1, 8-7. And we have the first miss, and it's North Macedonia, Angel Alakov perhaps. Not entirely sure about the pronunciation there, but he's missed. And that gives the advantage to Hungary here. Hope we don't bid on the same players when the fourth team start. We'll see. Perhaps not. I mean, could be. It could also be a fun place to have some banter. Oh, you are like you're scouting out the same players as I did. Solid wingers with lower secondaries. Yeah, that might actually be a good option. Now the hope now from North Macedonia is that Hungary misses, and they do. Thanks for the info. I will see where it takes me. I'll keep you updated. Feel free to do so if you use Discord. Sometimes it doesn't fit so very well with the hat-trick segment. Might be too new of a thing for most managers. But we are a little crowd in the Discord server. Slowly growing. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a mixture between IRC and Skype. You made me remember how crazy the market was when the HGAL opened. Oh, North Macedonia missed again. So that means a goal for Hungary now, and it's all over. Yeah, that was a major disruption of the market. Once they opened that league, I've heard about it. The question is, do you think justice for Hungary at the end? Couldn't find anything for a decent price. Yeah, but we won't see any disruption with the homegrown players. The question is, do you think that there'll be some sort of, like some of the best players from HGAL? It might be a good time to look for highly trained players once the HGAL closes, because you might see just a slight bump in the demand. And they have qualified, Hungary has qualified. David Gulias settles everything here in the match with the let's see, it's just so hard to just say anything about the shootout here, but they did win 4-2 if I remember. I don't think it will be massive because you do have a limit on how many players you can transfer in the HGAL. But I think you might see a surge. It might be worth looking for some good deals. That's what I'm trying to say. Perhaps even some trades. And you could go for something that, like a tier above what you usually go for. I've heard people claiming both things. That you probably won't see anything extraordinary. Perhaps you will. You'll see national team or players trained towards national team. Yeah, but I think people will only worry about the very talented players, right? You'll see players trained towards national teams coming out of the HGAL because it's been a farming ground. So, if you're expecting to see a draw for the World Cup today, I got that part wrong, and that's on Sunday. So we will definitely follow the draw on Sunday once we've seen league matches in San Marino. So the last two profit players I bought was this guy and Visa Magande. I got him for 34 million, and his estimated value is falling a bit right now. I'm training him in defense, but I'm hoping this holds up, obviously. But you should see him, let's just say, excellent. Same specialty, a little differently. I think he might even be able to hit formidable he could be a fairly decent. Also because of this. And the fact is, they're actually asking me to train him in playmaking and bump his stamina. I might just see him pop a few times and then see if they want to put him in a better training regime towards the national team. I don't feel like disrupting an under 21s player. So if they want him out of my team, they can get him. I will set the price accordingly. I have to. I mean, did they qualify? They did. They qualified, so they'll be needing good players. So that's the first of them. And the other guy is Ludmil Vendeshki. At least I'm on the positive. But it will disrupt my own plans, because I will not bump the stamina of... I will not, because if you look at my my core trainees, this is one of them. He's still injured. They're not ready to get the stamina because it's still capped. The stamina will still be capped, so it'll be just... Maybe someone from the chat will help with that transfer. Yeah. Now the thing is, like they could request, like they want to, like they want them to hit excellent now as quick as possible, kinda. Let me see what they wrote actually. Yeah, they want it to be at 20%, but it'll all be wasted because this guy will cap out, and then he will receive stamina training that he's not ready to receive still. I've been in the situation once before, and then I've parted ways with the player in order to accommodate, and I've said, I'm ready to let the player go if you want to find another home for him in order to increase the chances of him playing at the under 21s. But it's my player and I set the price. I didn't realize that the Zambian player was an under 21s prospect. Had it lined up better with Rico here, had it been in one season, I could have worked with a bump in stamina perhaps, because he might actually have a shot as well. Now, I decided to continue training and turning him in defense after the age of 20. But it wouldn't be worth anything right now, because, yeah. Now, let's take a look at like I have a fairly talented bunch. It doesn't make sense for me to waste that stamina training. Anyway, let's take a look at the candidates. Now, like if they, like I've said, if you regard him as a top tier in a midfield prospect for your team, let me know if you want me to sell him. I'll be happy to, but you'll have to pay me perhaps a little extra. I didn't see anyone fighting for him Exactly. But like, I didn't have to fight for him in the market. I've got him at a relatively good price. And I didn't try to piss anyone off. It was just, he ended up in my team, and the day after he ended up in my team, he was marked as a candidate for the team. So I'm open for a dialogue with the guys, and if they want to allocate resources in order to get him back in proper national team training, fine, I'll sell him. Anyway, I've identified a prospect here. A bad trader. Ugandan scout contacted me. I refused to change both training type and stamina, and he ended up sending me 2 of every 3 angry HT mails. But the thing is, it goes the other way around. If he's such a talented and important player to a national team, they should be on the ball and have someone ready to pick them up. Exactly, someone should be ready. We have a Portuguese guy here. I highly doubt that he'll go for 250,000. His compare is double of that. IT's high as well, but yeah, we'll see. And then this is just a long shot as well. It's compare of 5 million. But I have a few subjects in the hot list now. And as long as I've scouted on a regular PC with box fixed and everything enabled, I feel confident about being able to do the business on the go on the phone if need be. Let's just look at Cambodia ending up as winners of the Under-21 Asia and Oceania Cup. It is very nice add-on. Like my videos also state, like that's where it all begins. Africa, Botswana, and Comoros. Oh, they played at 9 hat-trick time, and that actually... Oh, it might not be finished. It's not. Oh, let's just take a look. Comoros on the counter. They used to have a former Danish national team coach, Juncker. He won the World Cup gold for Denmark back in the days. What's perhaps perhaps this is the fruit of the labor we're seeing now. Honestly, cannot tell. I mean, I'll not claim that I'm all that into it. Is the stream gonna go for a bit still? Yeah, I think it will. I mean, I'll keep it going for a while. I think it's been a good evening. It's Friday evening, so I don't see why not. Perhaps I'll wait. I'll keep that tab open. We'll do some scouting. Simply because preparing is always nice. So we will see. We'll have a look at all right. TSI at least 29k. I'm not writing in there. All right, now we just need to find some cheap targets. Yeah, not really. Wow. Or maybe. That could be a target, actually. I think this might be a little high due to the main skills. Tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure that's reliable. $29k again. That's not a good transfer compare. Hard to answer. I know. What level do you find easiest to skill trade? Oh my, going out for food next to Guillermo? What disrespect? I don't know. I'm still in the process of finding... Well, like I'm trying to process some numbers here. Refine them even, perhaps. And looking at the potential gains, I think it's easiest to trade. It's easier to spot lower level players. But I think the profit potential in being able to spot players around magnificent playmaking, for instance. Now we're only talking playmaking is obviously a lot higher. It's easier to spot the outstanding players level 10. But just looking at the potential gains per week at the outstanding pot, I finally got a few. I mean, it looks to be close to 80,000 euros per week, I'd say. Which is more than just okay. Tomorrow evening, I'm not gonna remember this guy at that point, but we'll hotlist him. Perhaps such a guy here is the one you set the max bid for, and then just don't even notice that the phone will go absolutely crazy while going out tomorrow. So but again, the good thing about it is that I get to do it on this team, and it'll be crucial. No, it won't be crucial, but it'll be quite important in the other teams when I have to do this for the remaining training slots once I swap to playmaking training in my cycle. Because those I won't be having. I won't have to do as many deals because it'll be 100% slot when training playmaking for a good while. And then it's only the 50% slots. So they have to be very good. Very nicely spotted. Good deals as well. But it won't be as intense. Because it's not a whole chain that you're looking and hoping you have to swap out each week. I noticed that I was on the right track at some point because I was identifying some of the same players that Blobland is betting on, and I was just like, okay, if he's found the same player, I'm on the right track, certainly. Okay, I don't know what's happening with my viewer because... Well, Botswana won the final in the Under-21s Africa Cup. So congratulations to those guys. Formerly trained by Mr. World Cup Juncker. What other continental America Cup? That should start in 40 minutes. Africa just played. Asia, we looked at that. The World Cup. Waiting for a group draw. That should be Sunday evening. Let's check, see, do I have more filters? I was actually wanting to check out like an outstanding winger, for instance. Let's just reset the filters. Not outstanding, supernatural winger. At perhaps not 19. 20. Quick, unpredictable, and head. See. Whoa. Yeah, that's crazy. 64k, are you out of your mind? What? It doesn't even make sense. Don't fall for such a guy. It's too crazy. Oh, I see. That's the guy who won the HGL. Yeah, he knows to set a high asking price and hoping for someone to see. This might be something. Monday morning. Ah, he's still on the... This is not really skill trading, is it? If you say 21, for instance, for such a guy, And then you bump him to excellent. Not found. Weak. Inadequate. Maybe that's a bit much actually. Just solid then. If we bump this guy. Really? Wow. I thought that would have been a better step. I guess not. You could find 19-year-olds supernatural wingers. Right, so if you take this guy and inadequate playmaking, you bump this guy to solid, you should be able to reach that within, well, that's 10 million in roughly a season. That Monday morning? It is. Try this guy out in the training manner. Full training. Let's just give him. Why not use the skill table and then use the... Oh, because this is not skill trading. This is just me looking at... Oh, but I won't have proper playmaking. Well, I may have. No, don't worry. It's just because... You might be right, actually. It might be... No, I will have a proper playmaking spot for a good while. It would be worth looking at a season's worth of training on such a guy. Initially, before I get my PNF. The reason why I don't... What skill table are you talking about, really? In the transfer search? What am I clicking even? Yeah? Oh, this one. Ah. I've never used that. You learn something every day. I guess it's because I usually go and customize the transfer comparer most of the time, but True. The thing I'm arguing here is it's because I'm looking at a winger, and this will be in regards to the winger skill, which is not the one I'm going to train. I'm going to train them in playmaking. Basically, this is potentially, like, you can tell from the HTMS. Yeah, but it's a good, like, if I'm, no, it's a good advice still. I mean, if I look at one of the, like, my outstanding filter here, and I would still change this to at least 9,500 TSI, perhaps 19 years of age, and if we do like this, and use it now. This one, by the way, is broken. The wages column, because of the 10% on specialties, it doesn't take that into consideration anymore. So you have to be wary with this one. It also makes sense that it roughly 10% lower, right? All right. See, in this situation, it's good advice. I just removed it. Marine. Oh, under customize. Yeah, good call as well. Okay, but the thing is here. Look at this guy. He might be. That's certainly a nice way to get a good overview. But you could always use this wages, at least for players not with a specialty. Alright, let's just change this a little bit by going to 20 maximum bid. You could also probably set this to 4.5 million. That's 45. Let's see. What? Oh. Better use the right tool here. Wow, there's a lot of players. Okay. Timolkowski, 4 million bid. Yeah. That's one hell of a TSI. I forgot to set it. Oh yeah, yeah, 4.5 million TSI. Yeah, you can't have above that. I forgot to set this one as well. With anyone in this list? Ooh. He's not close to popping anyway. The thing about outstanding is if you find this player, right? The compare is just so good that even though he's, like, you just say, I'll accept it, it's a step trade. Pablo Jesus Palacios. It goes on the list because the deficit here, like in asking price, if it goes anywhere, if it holds up, it's just so big that you don't mind training him for 4 weeks or 5 before he pops. And inadequate form. And he's fairly decent TSI still. Yeah, where did I get that? I showed the sheet earlier. Like if I pull it up here, just have to swap the view. Like, so the regular sheet is like this. And you should be able to see that each week, after 1 week of training, I mark up his TSI and then I mark the form level as well. And then I mark the pop here. So Evo Arguelles, he popped at inadequate form 11k roughly, right? This guy inadequate form 9k. This guy weak form, he popped here. He didn't get trained, but he sold here, so his form increased to inadequate. Thing is, when they eventually pop, this guy is just the formidable dude that's in the outstanding sheet. I then transfer all the players who have eventually popped to another sheet like this. And I'm not entirely sure you can see the final column, but then I'll just start for all the outstanding playmakers. Okay, what's the average TSI they pop in inadequate form? What's the average TSI they pop in weak form? So it's basically refining all the... You can't see it all, but I have a... So then basically the 9,500 TSI is just me trying to find a refined threshold. And right now it's based on 3 players, but you gotta start somewhere. I do the same for magnificent players. I only have 1 player, solid form. I do believe that finding some set standard targets, some standard thresholds that you specialize in and you get fairly good at is better than trying to scope more deals. But I guess in time, if you just treat it like working with a good amount of data, like you will get good results. But it has, like, you have to be thorough, right? You might have noticed I marked some of the players with a star marking as well in the sheet, and that's when a player doesn't get training. And I did make a major mistake 1 week and fucked up my whole lineup, so I only got half trained that week, only in the friendly. So basically number crunching. Got to go, have fun, see you on Sunday. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat today, Hampson. Take care, have a great weekend. I'll see you on Sunday. And thank you so much for spending your time here. I appreciate it. I guess we better set a new lineup in case we get some bits in. Still training on the Kramer and Lindstrom. Perhaps I'm just lazy. I don't know. Can you easily extract it to some place else? or it's because you use the training tool. I just like to have the form factored in as well. I know it takes a while before. I like working with numbers. Sale. Oh, it shows on the actual lineup as well. Scoring. Well, I'm a math teacher, so that's what I like. I like sheets. I like Excel. Even though this sheet that I'm using, it's not really taking, because it's actually text when I have the indication of the form as well. I'm not doing much with the numbers itself, but I like setting it into order like that. Who the hell do we put up as striker here? A very good striker. Right, and we have to adjust the team orders as well, because who should be close to popping? This guy must be close. Shepard as well. These two guys should get 90 minutes no matter. We'll just try a straight up swap here at half time for those guys, and we'll see. It could be we get some bits in and we find some other guys that would make more sense to play in a league match. I'm contemplating training this guy towards the national team or something. If he's perhaps as an inner midfielder. We'll have some good time in order to finish him up. We almost have the America final starting. Oh, we have the first sign up for the Danish show on Twitch Sunday. Hey Nova, welcome back. We did find a few more prospects now. Let's just see. Was it Palacios? Question is, should I just set the max bid here? Because I think I'll be I might be drunk at that point, so maybe it's The other ones I have a chance of seeing if they pop up on the phone. Like there's 10 minutes deadline. Do you want them? We could see. Well, maybe yes. Oh, I guess you didn't see. We finally had some of the players popping. And I mean, the reason why it got so terribly bad was also because of that weak guy messed up the training. That's simply so. Some good potential profit here. Oh wait, why don't I see his compare? Oh, it's all the way down here. So he's at 12 now. We bought him for 7. Oh, it's with your normal gamer tag. What you can do is I can't see it because I have the stream active. Would anyone be willing to save an 18-year-old player who I want to see survive for sentimental reasons? You only need a minimum bid. Yeah, sure. Just sure. Just like I'm trading, so I won't mind losing the team spirit or anything. Like you can. You are able to set your nickname individually for each of your servers. I just don't remember where the hell I do it. Appearance? Just a little bro to a 90,000 TSI. How the hell is it you change your Discord? Oh. Oh. See. Like you. I'll just pull it up. It's fine. Right, so this is how you do it, Bargain. It looks like it. You're shown as done, Bargain, so pretty cool. What song is this? It's just some it's called Mash by Wildflowers. It's some not copyright free music. It's not copyright free, it's music that I have licensed to use in streams and on YouTube. I was actually contemplating using the riff for intros. I've been looking to adding a nice intro to my videos, like something generic, in order to have like people claim that it helps to have something recognizable in your brand. So, oh, wait a second. So you have to edit your server profile. No, wait. Profile. Where do you do it again? Edit server profile. And but if you right click your name in the server, you should have the option to edit a profile exclusive to the server. Like, so if you take this one instead of or maybe, oh. Alright, I'll just disable this for just a sec. So if you use the server profile instead of your user profile, you can change your server nickname. You can also add your pronouns if you want that. And let me just re-enable. It's because it's not nice to be doxing all of you guys, even though yeah, I get why it's nice to have different names in different servers. So obviously that's a thing they thought of as well. Oh yeah. And it's not like I'm, yeah, I've a few different, mostly just folk. Oh, I am getting a little tired. It's hard work scouting. We were discussing the possibility of instead of going for the homegrown league with an extra team, then making a community league in the Hat-Trick International. And I think I'll make it. I've made it. I did make a dedicated post about it, and I think Ben was fairly keen on doing such a thing. I forgot who's America playing in the final. That's a Paraguay. Sir Ragnar, Danish manager as well. He's been crushing everything with America. USA, the reigning under-21 champions. Quite lucky, but still quite a feat. Let me just see. But I don't think I'll be worth worth a lot for much longer. I think I'm about to pull the plug, guys. If you enjoyed this national teams stream, like usually regular Fridays, I'm streaming a Danish stream for the Danish national team. Is that? Oh, but they are in my division. Transfer hit, not club history. Oh, so this used to be your team. Was it This was a really good stream when I wasn't drifting off to sleep way back. I'm glad you liked it. Don't go out of your way though. Mob, wait a second. Are you on your original user? Okay, so it's, I see. There he is. I wasn't aware of this when I returned, but I was told that that a GM could rename this team, for instance, which is my old team. What? What? Why is it the wrong region? Anyway, I was told that the GMs could rename, but then I would still have to pay the supporter. Yeah, they could rename the old team, and then you could change your team. The supporter, what's it called? I was fine by the fact that Halvehave is unique enough for me still. Then I had a team called the Twisted Transistors. Club history. Oh, this was such a... And I didn't promote. Season 62. And that, like, I realized that I hadn't planned sufficiently. Because, like, that was the end. I couldn't do anything else in order to improve from this position. So I got pissed off and annoyed by the fact that I hadn't planned my team well enough. And then I got busy. Was while I was studying to become a teacher. I got very frustrated. What? This can't... This was while I was working as a teacher. I just simply don't recall. Was it? I mean, I started working as a teacher in 2004, so apparently I kept the team all the way through my graduation, like round 9 in the Emerald. Doing fairly well, but again, then again, nothing more to take from players at the end of their lifespan. And like, to be honest, like that team, I played it like you would go, like you would approach playing Football Manager. Like you train some, you trade a little, make it all the way up the leagues or towards the top, right? And at some point, you just don't have anything stashed away in order to make a push for anything, because you're just reaching a point where you can't really turn in more money. You can't make more revenue. And then it feels like shit. Like, fuck, I have to start all over. You don't even have anything surplus. Like you said, okay, chances are my players are at the end of the lifespan. If I sell them now, I'll get a little bit and I have something extra to start out. I had nothing left. But it annoys me now, learning that it was so late that I actually lost my team. Can't change it now. And my, at least my primary team in Denmark, I don't remember. But this time, and I mean, I know that I started early in the cycle and it didn't store too much away, but now I am looking at the board starting to put their filthy hands on my money. It's annoying. And I think it's a silly restriction in a very sandboxy game where they don't want people to, like, why would you restrict people like this? I mean, it could be a different, like, the 15 million euros is enough to buy, like, if it's a winger at top level, you can buy one winger with that money, right? That's a little sad. I would like to see this limit be a double, so you could at least buy 2 players. I think it's okay that there's a cash limit. Don't get me wrong. I think it's all right that you don't just hold up like 10 times this amount and just. But I think it should be higher than being able to buy one top tier winger. Or buy I'm not against having a limiter of some sorts. That's perfectly fine with me. But I'm also against the fact that if people play in a very patient way in a game that already requires a lot of patience, I think it's fine that you are rewarded with the option to just inject a lot of cash. I mean, you can say a lot about Real Madrid's way of earning money and the way that Florentino Perez is the mastermind behind the Super League, and he wants Real Madrid to be the club that earns the most from that whole scheme, as I call it. But there, you have to consider like a very long period, starting from before the COVID, how long they've been abstaining from spending a lot of money, still winning, and now we'll sign Mbappe now, right? They can only do so because they've actually been abstaining and being patient. And honestly, hats off for that aspect of the whole side of business, being patient. I mean, you could even see this season they sign a player like Joselu. He's not really a Galactico, is he? He gets the job done some way. And they've been fairly patient about the whole striker situation, even while they had Benzema. I think that's an aspect of driving a club as well. So I think there should be a better system of rewarding patience. If anything, just double the Let's just see how the ratings look in the America final before I sign off here, because I think I'm about to. Pressing. Paraguay is pressing tonight. Doubling it would also make players more expensive. That, I mean, perhaps that's the argument, that because Patrick has a problem with player prices, right? It could end up being that the top tier player will just follow that cap. It's hard to say. You are absolutely right. And then it would just require even more resource management and storing of all the assets. Gonna tap out. See you on Sunday. See ya. Pocket. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Hope you have a great weekend as well. Right, what are we saying about the Americas final? Pressing, formidable for Paraguay. It'll be interesting. And it will be a surprise if Paraguay manages to win this one, certainly. Paraguay looking nice on the specs. They're basically even here. No counters on the quick wing. PNF. Close game, but obviously USA are the favorites. I think that's the cue. Though 10 minutes into the American final, I'm gonna say thank you all for joining. See you guys on Sunday. League games in San Marino and the World Cup draw. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Take care.